The tomb of St. Grumble sat beneath a hill shaped like an old man perched over a maiden while regretting breakfast. Its entrance was carved into grey stone, framed by dead ivy and two statues of the saint himself, both wearing expressions of eternal disappointment. St. Grumble, according to guild literature, had been a holy man of tremendous discipline, famous for curing a plague, banishing a marsh demon, and complaining so intensely about poor masonry that 3 abbeys had rebuilt themselves overnight out of shame. His tomb was considered an excellent first rate because it was dangerous enough to be respectable, but not so dangerous that the guild hall had to send an apology fruit baskets to the next of kin, or even worse, rescue parties. They are expensive. The bronze boars arrived just after me, clanking, laughing, and smelling faintly of onions. Bourne stepped to the front, planted one hand on the stone door, and read the inscription out loud. "Only the worthy may enter." A deep grinding noise came from inside the hill. Nothing opened. Bourne pushed harder. His body leaned in. The door did not shift. "Needs a key," said one of the archers. "Needs strength," said another. "Needs less onion," I muttered. I moved closer, studying the inscription. The letters were taller than I was, carved on a severe priestly script. Beneath them, almost hidden by moss, was a second line. "Please don't shove," I read. Bourne looked down. "What?" I brushed moss away with my sleeve. "It says, please don't shove." "I didn't shove." "You introduced your shoulder to it with hostile intent." The statue on the left made a stone noise that sounded suspiciously like a tut. I placed one palm gently against the door. "Good morning," I said, because I was raised properly. "I'm here for one relic and a stamp." The door opened. Not dramatically, not with thunder. It simply sighed inward like someone too tired to argue. The bronze boar stared. I adjusted my pack. Politeness. Terrible stuff. Gets everywhere. Then I walked into the dark before anyone else could decide to stop me. The tomb smelled of cold stone, old wax, and the sort of dust that had opinions. My boots clicked on the floor. Somewhere ahead, water dripped with theatrical patience. The entry hall was lined with more statues of St. Grumble. Each one showed him a different pose of holy irritation. Grumble with a book, Grumble with a staff, Grumble addressing a sinful turnip. The carved eyes seemed to follow me. A plaque beneath the nearest statue read, "The saint watches the callous." "I'm not callous," I said. My foot caught on a raised tile. I pitched forward, arms windmilling, and rolled headfirst into a volley of darts that hissed out of both walls exactly where my chest had been half a heartbeat earlier. I landed on my back. The darts embedded themselves in the opposite statue's face. For a long moment I stared at St. Grumble, who now had 7 darts sticking out of his nose. The thing was, this kept happening to me. The falling into safety, the missing by exactly the right amount. I'd once walked into a door hard enough to knock myself sideways out of the path of a runaway cart, and the carter had thanked me for clearing the road. I didn't trust it exactly. I didn't understand it exactly. I felt less like skill and more like really occasionally deciding to do me a favor, for reasons I suspected were not entirely charitable. "Right," I said. "Possibly a little careless." Behind me, Bourne's voice echoed from the entrance. "Trap corridor! Everyone watch your method!" "Oh no!" I called. "Do not watch my method!" Too late. There came several heavy footfalls, a click, a hiss, a shout, and an unmistakable sound of a large man being pinned to a wall by his own cloak. "My method," I called back, standing, "was falling over." Nobody thanked me.